Heidi ho, boys and girls. Well, we got a little bit of adjustment we got to do to our woo-woo calibration here. So I'm going to do a little emergency broadcast break in. Hopefully get a little correction here before everybody gets too far down the wrong road. So give me just a couple of minutes and we're going to get radio silence here as we normally do. I put everybody on notice that I'm live streaming and I will be right back. For those of you guys that are watching on live stream delay, just go ahead and fast forward. You're not missing anything. Just give me a couple minutes and we'll go ahead and start the show. Hang tight. Be right back. Okay, thank you very much there. Thank you for joining us. This is not the way that I want to start my day, even though it is 2:30 in the afternoon. So let's take a look and see what's going on here, guys. Hold on just a second. So if you remember last broadcast we had last Thursday, we did some predictions using Veronica Jane, who is remarkably accurate, by the way. This is no reflection on her talent. There's just been a change in the force. Let's just say that. I want to make sure everybody, and again, the problem with some of these prediction channels, problem with some of these people who bring in psychics, and I'm not speaking about Veronica Jane. I'm speaking about some of these people who bring on psychics as they put these prices out, and people go all in on this stuff. And you know, Veronica's incredibly talented, incredibly accurate. You guys have seen what she's capable of doing. However, I want to play devil's advocate here as the guy who does the charts, does the technical stuff, and has his feet firmly on the ground. I want to make sure that everybody gets a fair shake at seeing the other flip side of the coin. You know, weirder stuff has happened. She's made some calls here that have some people kind of scratching their head going, holy crap, are we really going to see this or not? So I want to show you the other side of the flip coin. I just got off the phone with her. This is what makes me want to do this live stream right now. She says there has been a bit of a change in what's going on. Now, this has to do with Elon Musk screwing with the timeline. I won't get into all that, but there has been some changes. So that 503, I'll just tell you emphatically. Now, guys, do not ask me this 1,000 times in my Discord. I'm saying it right now. Listen to me. It drives me nuts when I tell you guys this stuff, and then you turn around and ask me 1,000 times because you're not paying attention. This is the official call. 0.00003 is off the table. Off the table. Okay. So what we're going to do on this live stream is I'm going to go through. I'm going to use our system, and I'm going to show you what I'm going to be doing with my money. You can do what you want to do, obviously. So I want to be able to make sure that you guys are covered because this is going to be a move that's going to be life changing. So I want to make sure that everybody has a comfortable position at the end because that's my job, is to make sure you guys are covered and you're getting what you need to have in order to thrive. So we'll go ahead and get into that here in just a second. We will follow up with Veronica next Thursday and see what the hell's going on. I don't mean to unsell this. I know I sound rather dire, but the thing about it is right now I want to make sure a lot of you guys. I watch the chat, so I know how you guys are setting aside waiting for that ultimate drop. And the last thing in the world I want to see happen is I want to see, nothing sucks worse than coming within just like a hair of hitting a price and having it reverse and go down or something like that. So I just don't want to see any of you guys miss an opportunity. This is why I've been talking safety positions for the last month or so. So we're going to go through a few key charts. I'm not going to run the entire market, but we're going to go through a few key charts here. I'm going to give you my thoughts because my thoughts do change on a day-to-day basis because welcome to the market, things change. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to go through a few things, and I'm going to show you what it is I think currently is probably going to shape up. Now, are we going to see blast off from the 16th to the 22nd? Yeah, that has not changed. That has not changed. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to wrangle a good deal out of the time that we've got between now and then. So that's the mission of this broadcast. All right, guys. So anyway, if you guys are new on the live stream, thank you very much. My name is Red Baron. Normally I'm a little more happy-go-lucky than I am right now. I'm just having a bad hair day. So I'm considerably negative on XYO. That's my own doing, and so I sidestepped. And so you guys are in Discord. I had a unique way of sidestepping and deferring my losses, and I taught some guys about 2 o'clock in the morning, my time, on Discord last night. If you guys want to learn how to sidestep a loss, go into our Discord. You guys are more than welcome to join us on our free Discord, which is the unfairadvantage.chat. You can do that. You can simply just go to the live stream. Go to the description in our live stream here. Go to the unfairadvantage.chat. That's our free invitation to our public Discord. And we obviously do have VIP for gold and platinum as well, which is a behind closed doors deal for the subscribers and stuff, where you kind of get my daily calls and all my videos and stuff that I do. The stuff I do here, I do a lot more behind VIP. But nonetheless, thank you very much for putting that in the description there, domain. But nonetheless, we'll go ahead and go through this, and if you'd like to subscribe to the charts that I will be using, you can do that on this website you're looking at here on the screen, which is fibbycharts.com. You just simply go right here to the subscribe, and just go to subscribe now. You can pick one of our packages, and I would highly recommend that anyone that wants to get into this stuff right now and really do themselves a solid, get into gold or platinum, because what you're going to get is you're going to get a much higher level of participation. You're going to get private VIP. You're going to get a lot more calls and stuff like that. And it's not just public chat. It's me basically 7 days a week. So, all right, let's go ahead and get on with it. Sorry, this is kind of rocking my world a little bit. I did not have a good night last night. I've got heartburn right now. So I legitimately, literally have heartburn, and I can usually stomach some pretty bad losses, but right now I'm having a bad hair day. So let's go ahead and take a look, see what's going on. All right, so we're going to be using Platinum Pro, which is our new thing. We've got some new tools that are going to be added to that here pretty quickly, but right now let's go ahead and take a look at what the hell is Bitcoin doing to us today. So this is a little bit of good news as far as I'm concerned. This thing has been for the last 2 months following exactly what I told you it was going to do, book and page. So here we are right now, basically parked right below the thing. We're coming right up the underside of the channel. When we got like this, we smacked that the first time. I told everybody it was going to walk up the inside of that channel. So here we are. Now, if you remember a comment that used to be here, it said I'm not going to be terribly concerned about anything bullish until we break 52. That was this red line right here. So now you can very clearly see we are above that. We are now forming a bull flag formation, which means we're probably going to go up into this box. Now, anybody that's been watching this broadcast for a long time already knows the curse of the 50% move. It's almost getting to be the law of the 50% move. What do I mean by that? I mean, standard TA says, let's go ahead and grab this. Standard TA says that this is basically your move, your flag move right here. Something we've noticed on this channel, or rather that I noticed on this channel, is what we get. Instead of getting what TA should give us, it gives us half. And no one has ever really recognized that pattern but me. I've never heard anyone else see this and play it the way that I play it. So usually when we see a move, we start to consider on this channel anything the TA is saying it's going to move 100 points, 50. And you watch this play out. What I'm suggesting to you is this is probably going to be the TA move, but what's likely going to happen is you're going to see that thing get hacked off right at the knees right there, and that's going to drop right at about 62,000. So 62,000 is your official call for Bitcoin when this thing starts moving, and we're moving right now. We're breaking out through right now live on air. So when this thing starts to break through and starts to move and we get a run, you're going to see this thing cap, stop, stall right at 62,000. All right, so I want to kind of we'll rejoin this. I always kind of like to start the broadcast always talking a little bit about Bitcoin, just because that's always the market leader and stuff like that. So I haven't looked at Bitcoin dominance today, but I can not imagine it's all about Bitcoin right now. So let's set that aside for just a second, and I will take a look at. So we're going to look at some key ones that are kind of important to what's going on right now. Let me save that for a second. Okay. So let's get straight to the first one. So the first one, we had a good run on XLM. So this is one of Veronica's calls. She said that it was going to come down here like this. And if you remember, go back and listen to that thing. She said there's going to be kind of like a little whoops, like she was referring to something like a car ride, like how it makes the kids, like your stomach gets kind of queasy. Well, there it is right there. She said it's going to go up and it's going to go down. So she basically got that right there. Now, I was listening to this, and a few people went back and were re-listening to this. She had called a much lower call down here. So let's just come at this discussion by virtue of this. This would be in tandem to are we going to get a crash or not? Well, our window is here. It is the 11th my time in America right now. It's 2:43 Chicagoland time, 2:43 p.m. Chicagoland time on Monday, the 11th. So we're looking at 7, 8, 9. We're looking at basically about, give or take, about anywhere from 5 to 9 days before all hell breaks loose in a good way and things start going up. So here's what we're going to be looking at. We've got to do some downward business here in the next 7 days to go back and get a good buy-in. So the mission, the goal of this live stream is to be able to show you opportunities. I mean, I'm not going to give you calls. I'm not going to give you, suggestions, because we're not a financial channel. That's not what we do. You wear your big boy pants, I wear mine, and we walk the road together. But we don't wear the same pants. So you do what you do, I do what I do, and God bless you if it works out for you as it works out for me most times. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through this. I'm going to show you a few key targets that should play out if we start to drop. And I'll go ahead and get your pencils and pens out, and so you can write these things down, because they will play out. These things are based on standard technical analysis and not woo. I'm going to give you the technical side of this. So you already have her calls. Now I'm going to give you mine. All right. So as far as XLM, so let's take a look at, let's blow this up a little bit. We'll go into the 1 hour chart, we'll go into the 6 hour chart, and we'll go into the 1 day chart. That'll get us down the road quite a bit. All right. So, excuse me. I've been talking a lot in the last couple of days, but my voice is just roasted here. So, the main indicators that we like to watch the MACD, the RSI, and what we call the Snapdragon, which is these three lines right here, the green, the blue, the red. So I'm going to kind of bring you guys that are new to live stream up to speed so you know what I'm talking about. I don't like to talk over everybody's head, so every once in a while I have to kind of go back and explain how I do what I do. The other thing we're watching for is this thing called the Bollinger Band. I refer to it as the bubble. It's a Bollinger bubble. It's this green ghosty cloud back here. The rule on this, excuse me, the rule on this is like this. When the bubble is flaring like this and starting to go big, that means you're coming out of something and you're getting ready to go into a big move. One way, yay or nay, up or down. Now, currently right now we're in a constriction, but we're slightly coming out of it. All right, so I'll teach you what that means here in just a second. Let me clear the chalkboard here. All right, so if we're in a downward move and we're coming out of a pinch, out of a constriction, the downward move is indicated by green being below red, being below blue. All right, so that tells us we're in a downward move. We are low on the RSI, we are low on the MACD. So we've got three indicators indicating down. We are trending down. Bollinger Band is opening up. Now, if you guys understand what pulse markers, I haven't talked about pulse markers for a long time. I won't talk about that right now because I got a lot on my mind. But pulse markers are these things that are part of our charts that are unique strictly to us. These are basically timeline. These are things that trigger violent moves occasionally. These lines will go up and down. This is something that's unique to Fibby charts. You won't find it anywhere else. And so the combination of all these things, you can see how it hit that timeline, hit that pulse marker right there, and we had a little bit of a drop. So it just works that way. Hit this one, jumped up. Hit this one, ran way up. Hit this one, jumped up. These things are just magic. So we'll talk about those in detail here coming up on another live stream. But nonetheless, here's what I'm telling you is we are in a downtrend. We are coming through a choke point, which means this Bollinger Band, this bubble is going to expand, and this thing is going to go down. Unquestionably, this is what's going to happen. Now, when I'm speaking about XLM, I'm also speaking broadly about the rest of the market. So cross your fingers, kids, because what I'm telling you is going to play out. All right, now here's what we can surmise from this. Currently, we are sitting on resistance. That starts right here. Okay, you can see that. Now, the next resistance we have is down here, and it's in this general area right here. So our next resistance is this. Let me clear out the chalkboard here and get a little bit. I get messy with my stuff here. Let me get out this. There we go. All right. So our first resistance obviously is this white line right here. So let's go ahead and make that yellow. All right. So that's going to be your first one. That's not a move that I would be throwing gobs of cash at. If we're going to get a drop, then let's get a real drop. So we have to go back here and we have to look for some pretty substantial drops. This is going to be kind of a stream of consciousness thing here, so I'm just kind of talking to myself and you guys are listening over my shoulder. So what we have here is we have what I call an opening move. You guys have been around for long enough, you know what an opening move is. That has been unresolved to this point. So we got 50-50 odds of where's this thing going to go. Is it going to go up or is it going to go down? Well, tell you what, you guys have watched me do this enough times. Into the armpit on the double AI at resistance. There it is. Cha-ching. So, in my mind, this is what's going to happen in the next 7 days. Now, I'm doing this kind of sloppy. I'm just kind of giving you a chalk talk version of this. But here's what I'm telling you. Opening moves must close. Computers have OCD. They've got to do it. They just got to. They get itchy if they don't close these moves. When they make a move like this, they got to undo that move. There's your undo move. It can be up or it can be down. But if you want to use my methodology and you find the last little armpit, you stick that measured move inside of there and it'll drop you. And when you start lining up with past historical resistance on a double AI line, that's money, baby. That's money. And a downward trend, I'm throwing all my eggs in that basket. So here's basically where I'm going to tell you. If you want to take this and play this a couple different ways on XLM, which I highly suggest you do, take a look at XLM because it's going to be one of the ones that's going to go big. I've said this so many times I'm blue in the face. XLM is going to outperform XRP. It's easier to get. It's a lower price. It doesn't have to move as much to get exponentially better return. It's all about taking 1 penny and seeing how many pennies back you can get for the first penny you put in. XRP is going to do fine, thank you very much, but XLM on a dollar for dollar in, dollar for dollar out, XLM is going to whoop ass on that thing in short term because it's cheaper. It takes less effort to go from 30 cents to 60 than it does to go from $1 to $2. Simple as that. So XLM is going to be the one that you're going to want to be watching. Also very easy to get into, very easy to get out of because it's a Coinbase coin and it's basically there's about no exchange that doesn't have something to do with XLM. So probably one of the easiest games in town to play. All right, so if we're looking at this purely on a straight now this is not going to be like just a line drive drop to the bottom. This will, it'll be walking down, easing down. We've got 7 to 10 days or something in that neighborhood to get down there. Can very well do that. Now, what I'm suggesting to you is this. Don't hedge your bets down here on the dual AI line. Get yourself some safety in this green box. Lower part of the green box is extremely good possibility. Extremely good. I would put you anywhere inside of this box, on that top of that box or in that box is easy money on a downward trend. So if it goes to here, it could rebound because we do have a little bit of support and resistance starting right there. So it could very well go down, rebound, chuck a couple times, and then capitulate and go in. That's usually the way we see these things play out. So XLM, that's basically the play. Now, she's got a call right here. We booked this thing right online. So she's saying let's just call it at 0.30. 0.299 to be specific, but let's call it 0.30. I'm not ruling it out. If we, again, I'm sorry to be a broken record, guys, but look at it this way. I always have to kind of interject a little bit of reality here. If I'm speaking kind of fast, just slow down, slow down my live stream or whatever. But look at it this way: I still always go back when I'm in the middle of pitching this stuff, and I always go back and go, "Hey, let me ask you a question. Have we had any terrorist attacks? Have we had, where's the big boom problem that's supposed to happen? Have we had the dollar collapse? None of this stuff has happened. So these people are like, well, man, I don't know. Could we get a crash? Well, my question is not could we get a crash? It's like, when the hell is this thing going to come? It has to come. It has to. This madness cannot continue. I mean, the Moon Boys that are all over YouTube right now. Like, do any of you people understand basic economics? Do you understand that what goes up like this cannot maintain? Something is going to break. Something is going to tip over. And when it does, it's going to take the whole shooting match with it. Bond markets, stock markets, real estate, crypto, you name it. Cars, parts, businesses, 401ks, everything, the lint in your pocket, everything is going to go down. One after another, after another, after another. There's going to be a succession where you're going to get up and go, oh, Jesus Christ, what broke today? And it's going to just keep on going and going and going. And that's all you're going to hear is what business failed today. And now, while I'm on that little mini stream of consciousness, let me go back and interject something that I know all of you know for a fact. You know it, you just haven't stopped to think about it. Let's think about Christmases for the last 10 years. Isn't it kind of ironic, or not ironic, but isn't it kind of almost something you can count on, the timeline, even in good times and what we consider to be good times? Isn't it always the same shit you see all the time? October comes around, and here we are deeply in October now. We're 1/3 over. This is when, as I've told you guys many, many times, this is when things will start to go bad. This is when people are looking at their books going, Jesus Christ, we got a problem here, man. And it's not publicly admitted, but right now you got a lot of people biting their nails in boardrooms right now. But come about the end of the month, it's time to play confession. It's time to come to Jesus and tell their investors what they just did to them. And then it's going to go public, and that's going to roll. Now, the implications of them crunching numbers in October manifest themselves in November, or towards the end of October. And you may not understand what I'm talking about, but you've seen this year over year over year. Let me explain what it is. You'll know it once I tell you. You'll understand. You know how when Christmas comes, what's the first thing you always hear? Oh, Christmas is coming. You start hearing about all these goddamn job losses. Oh my God, they downsized. GM canned 45,000 workers, and FedEx is laying off this, and this company's doing this and stuff like that. Notice that always starts around about November. The reason why is because they were looking at their books in October and they were going, oh my God, we gotta cut some of this dead wood out of here. So that's going on right now in the boardrooms. That's going on. People are, and it has been quite honestly since September, but they're going, yeah, this is not good. And this is when you're going to start to see, and I always like to say Applebee's. Applebee's, by the way, for you guys that are not in America, it's just an average, corner restaurant food chain type thing. But Applebee's and McDonald's, whatever, all these restaurants are just going to start going. They're just going to start dropping like flies. That's going to be the first thing that you're going to see. They're just going to start dropping. But all these retail stores and stuff like that, I won't get into the broader narrative. But I mean, holy hell, folks. What you're about to kind of take this whole conversation full circle. If you don't think crypto is going to take a downward turn, I'll tell you right now, I will put my life on this bet. I'm that sure of it. It's going to happen. It must. Now, granted, I'll go back to it so you guys that are new on the Applebee's. Yeah, Applebee's gave you food poisoning. I haven't been in Applebee's for a long time. I haven't had the need to have a $13 hamburger for a while. If I want that, I can go to a Hardee's. And bad service. So here's the thing. I kind of lost my train of thought there. Sorry, you sidetracked me with the Applebee's comment. Here's the thing with the downturn and stuff like, oh yeah, this is the point I was going to make. So here, let me explain human nature to you. As I've said this many, many times, but it bears repeating. So everybody's like, but we're going to have, everybody's just going to put their money in crypto. If everything else is, everybody's going to put their money in crypto. No. That's not how human nature works. They're going to see all the bad stuff that's going on in the world. So let me give you a quick nickel tour of the next 90 days. So things start going bad. People start panicking. See, here comes the cops. Fire trucks are out already. I don't know if you can hear that in the background. I live down the street from a fire station. So what's going to happen is you're going to see the news is just going to start, maybe they won't admit it, but it'll be very obvious that the gloom and doom is just going to be just going crazy. And people are going to start to panic, and people are going to start to notice, and jobs are going to start to get, stores are going to close, and just things are going to start getting bad, and it's going to be noticeable, to say nothing about the jab, which we won't even talk about that in this broadcast. But, there's going to be contagion effect would be the correct terminology for this. What's going to end up happening is investors, let's call them the not so savvy investors. Now, I've been an investor for over 30 to 35 years. I've seen this in cycles over and over and over and over and over and over again. I can close my eyes and point at any point and tell you exactly where we're at in this. And what's going to end up happening is these people are going to panic, and they're going to pull all their money out of everything. That's human nature. Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God! We got a problem. There's been a terrorist attack, or there's been whatever. Oh my God! Because what happened on 9/12, the day after 9/11? They closed the banks. You know why? Because the banks know what happens if they don't. Everybody's going to go, even though I'm in Chicagoland and planes are tearing down towers. All the banks were closed on the 12th. Because they knew everybody was going to run, and they were going to suck their money out, and they weren't going to let that happen. That's when, why do you think they halt trading when things happen on the New York Stock Exchange? Why do you think they halt? Because this is human nature. People freak the fuck out, and they start taking their money out of the bank immediately. And so this is what's going to happen. And if you think crypto is exempt from that, brothers and sisters, you're not you haven't been brought into the religion yet, because this is the truth of the matter. When people get panicky, they take their money and they pull it close to the vest. They stick it under their mattress. They don't leave it in banks. They don't leave it in crypto. They don't leave it in real estate if they can sell their real estate fast. They don't leave it in stocks, bonds, metals. None of it. None of it. A few cagey people do, but for the most part, you have to understand. Let's take it down to Joe Lunchbucket. He's my favorite investor. Joe Lunchbucket works like this. Every once in a while, he's peeling off a little bit of money. He's throwing it into crypto. He's got himself, 1/1 billionth of a Bitcoin or something like that. And all of a sudden, he loses his job. Do you think he's going to let that Bitcoin ride? Hell no. Hell no. He's going to need it because he needs to feed his 2 fat kids. He's going to need it because his wife is going to need to have, whatever. That was his retirement plan, and I've seen this in my group. Some of you guys are small timers, and I love you to death. This is why I'm doing this broadcast. And if I sound like I'm very passionate about this, is because we are at the cusp of this happening, guys. I'm preaching at you, because if you ever listen to me right now. The things that I'm going to be telling you here in the next couple broadcasts are going to change your life. But if you don't listen to me and you do something stupid, you're going to watch this train rocket away from you, and you're going to have nothing but your own pity party to sit in and just wallow in, because this is the truth of the matter. If you do something stupid right now, boom, you're done. You don't get a backup. You don't get a do-over. That ain't going to happen. The market's not going to slow down. So you've got to listen to someone who is a 3.5 decade investor, who's dealt with millions and millions of dollars, high-level banking. I hear these people. I work with some amazing people that will never share their secrets with you, but I'm bleeding them out to you. I'm kind of the filter to you. So please, please, please listen to me when I tell you what's going to happen. So anyway, back to my point, Joe Lunchbucket. He's got to survive off this. And I've seen this in our group. These guys are like, we've got a couple mods that do this, love them to death, man. And I worry about them because I don't want to see them miss the boat. But, you got to eat, you got to feed your kids, et cetera, et cetera. And so what's going to end up happening is for example, I've got people that are invested in XRP, and they know it's going, but man, win, for God's sake, win. And it's not happening. And then they got to bleed a little bit out. And they got to sell off a little XLM, and and pay the rent, to pay the mortgage, to do whatever, to feed the kids, and it's just a bad deal. It's a bad deal. So this is what I'm telling you is if we ramp that up, and we start to have a really, really bad go of it, where things start to become, too hard to bullshit over. CNN, I'm talking to you, Fox News, uh, and it becomes obvious to people that this isn't right. People are going to take a run on the banks, and you can go ahead and consider Coinbase a bank because that's what they want to be anyway. It's really no different. Wherever people got their money, that's where they're not going to have their money. They're going to go in and they're going to grab that shit and they're going to pull it back to their house. They're going to put it in their hand because I think slowly but surely, picking up speed, I think people are starting to realize that, leaving your money in charge of, we already know now, don't leave your money on the exchanges. That's kind of baked into the cake. I mean, how many times have we all been hosed by the exchanges? For my money, they're not that much better than the banks. In fact, they're actually worse. They screw you on a higher level, just faster and more efficiently than the banks do. So the thing about it is the point I'm trying to make here on this little ramble is the fact that when that event, which could be this week, could be, I don't know, you don't know, Vanessa doesn't know, but theoretically it could be this week. We could have volcanoes blow up, earthquakes. I mean, pick your favorite disaster. I mean, shit, we got them all stacked up waiting to happen. It's just a matter of time before something happens. But one of those could just be the kindling that triggers the bonfire. And when it happens, you can bet your bottom dollar that everybody's going to run to the banks, run to crypto, do whatever. They're going to liquidate. And that's going to crash the crypto market. So make no mistake about it. And if I miss it by 1 or 2 days, trust me, it's going to happen. So this has been going up and up and up and up and up and up for so long that it must come down. So speaking, I'm seeing a lot of Shiba talk going up the chat here. So used car market, yeah, that's another whole. I was out shopping for cars today, man. Oh my God! Anybody want to buy a Corvette for $100,000? Because I just took one for a test drive today. That's a car you don't want to be owning here in about 90 days. I don't fit in the damn thing anyway. I'm 6'10". My head was bashing on the B pillar behind me. It was driving me nuts. Nice car, but yeah, I can't imagine driving that car around in the zombie land here in about 90 days. What that thing would be like. It's a gorgeous car though, but I mean, holy crap! $100,000 for a car? Are you kidding me, guys? It's just like those days are over. And then good luck getting parts for it when it starts falling apart, because it will. So anyway, let's get back to the point here. So I'm by the time I get on live stream with you guys, I just want to just spill everything that's been in my head for like since the last time I did this. So bear with me. I'm decompressing here. So give me a minute. All right, so let's talk a little bit more in XLM. Let's take a look at the longer period of time here for XLM. So on the 1 hour, we're coming down again. We're not looking real juicy here for the 1 hour. It's going down. So classically speaking, looking at this, it looks like a downward trend. We could get one more hump on this. Let me go ahead and show you. So basically what we're going to get is we're going to get something like this. We could get another one. We could probably very easily end up down here on resistance. I believe we could probably end up on that in this next move because we've got pretty much an overall channel working up right there. So that's to be about 327, and from there we still have a closing move we got to work out. So again, this is the same thing I just showed you. We've got to put a cap on that, and that's going to put you down there, boom, right in that general area right there, right on top of that. So no kidding, 0.28, easy. 0.28. Now, could we go lower than that? Let's go way back in history. Let's rewind about 6 months or so. When it was looking very, very likely we were going to see a crash. We've got some open CMEs and some stuff like that. There's a very strong reason why XRP could, in an oh shit crash, go all the way down to 22 to 25 cents. You haven't heard me talk about those prices for a while, but I'm not ruling it out. I mean, wouldn't that be a barn burner to see XRP drop to 22 to 25 cents? This is why I tell you guys, take safety positions, because I don't think you would get it in a million years, because it would happen so fast they would never let you have it. So 50 cents you might get, but I don't think you're ever going to get 22 to 25 cents publicly anyway. Unless you know somebody, and I don't. So, take your chances with that. But as far as XLM goes, is if that were to happen, you would be seeing prices of anywhere from 8 to 11 cents for XLM. comparatively. I mean, that's crazy. But again, I don't think that that's going to be highly likely. So you want to be getting the reasonably sane buys, but don't hold out for the very bottom. Yeah, 0.25 in 2018. But what I'm saying on that, we spent so much time at 22, 25 cents that, I mean, if that thing ever were to slam down to the floor, that's where it's going to hit, undeniably. Um, you know, but there's some people that are having visions, and if you believe in that stuff, if you get in, there's some people that are seeing that in their dreams and their visions and whatever. And I don't discount that stuff because the stuff I the stuff I see on my end with the groups that I'm involved in, don't discount that stuff. There's something to it. But again, we're trying to be a much more technical broadcast here tonight. So anyway, XLM we're looking at roughly probably right in that general range there. So let's get on to the next one here, and I'll kind of close out my thoughts on this. So 6 hour, again, we're still looking like, here it is back down here in this general area. None of this is looking tremendously bullish. We're curling down. So I think probably at least for the rest of the day, we're probably going to be down. We're going to be going down. So if you guys are panic stricken about Shiba running, let's go ahead and take a look at Shiba here real quick. Yeah, see what I'm talking about? There it is. See, so let me show you. I always like to trash talk exchanges. So let me show you how the big boys fuck you. Pardon my language today. I'm feeling spicy. So this is pretty much how they hose us, guys. Let me show you. This is a classic cup and handle. So to go ahead and teach school again. So classic cup and handle is there's your handle, there's your cup formation. You get your measured move out of the depth from rim to edge. You should get this move right here. There is our favorite book it 50% move right there. What it is it basically 50% of that purple arrow. It went straight to 50% of what should have played out here, and nada. Wiped it right off the table. So let me zero in on that a little bit so you guys can understand what you're looking at. So this thing should have gone easily above this line here. It went literally to our AI line, bounced, tested twice, and dropped it straight into the pit of hell. Think that move is over with? Nah. That's going down lower. Look at that Snapdragon. That green is diving hard under that. Hard. This thing is just nose diving. This thing is like Greg Louganis, man. This thing's going to the bottom of the pool. So as far as a chance to buy in Shiba, so now what the $1 million question is where the hell can we pick this thing up on a bargain? So let's go ahead and open up a few charts here, and we'll take a longer observation of this and see what gives with this, and see, do we still have an opportunity to pick this thing up? Let me go back and share a couple things here. So I'll show you at the points where I was in. I'm out of Shiba right now, but let me show you where I had bought in. I had bought in here. I actually had bought in lower. I had bought in back here actually, and I did my first sellout, and I just did a quickie in and out. And so my last out position was literally where we are just about. Sorry with all the trash, guys. There was a way I could kind of thin this out. I know it's a lot to look at, but my last sell position was right here at 402972. All right, which we are now under my last sellout position. So if I wanted to buy back in using my profits, I'm starting to get to the point where I'm actually going to be able to level up my bag if I wanted to. Right now I have nothing because I've been holding out for 5 zeros and a 3, and that ain't happening. Well, I don't know. Maybe it will. I'm not ruling it out, but I'm not going to be stupid. I'm not going to be standing there, wide-eyed, bushy-tailed, expecting it to happen, and if it don't happen, go, well, that hurt my feelings because it didn't happen. I'm going to be taking safety positions. I mean, don't get greedy. This is when greed will destroy you. If you're holding out for the bottom and you won't accept, buying anywhere in any of these bands, if you won't accept it, you're doomed. You're doomed. Because what's going to end up happening is this thing is going to turn at some point. It's going to decide that it's had enough, and it's going to turn and go back. Now, the point of this broadcast is to kind of show you those opportunities. I can show you one right now that's got my attention, full attention, right here. right here, baby, right on the AI. Now, what's likely to happen? I'll give you my interpretation of this, and we'll see if I'm right or not. So we have a huge run up. We had a closing move. We can call this an opening and closing move. So that whole thing is done. We had a run up there. We've had a walk back, but not quite. So we've got a closing move here that still needs to kind of work itself out. We'll ignore that for just a second. But we're starting to turn down. So our first level of resistance is, I can't put a mark there, it'll bring all my trash back. But our first level of resistance is right here. Let's do it this way so you guys can see what's going on. Come on now. Our first level of resistance is right there, 0.25 and some change. All right. Now our next level of resistance, to toggle that back off, is here. This is the big one. This is the one where you stand the best opportunity to go for the gusto. Make sure that you've got a buy, and you're securely set. Don't get greedy. You might want to leave maybe 10, 15% stuck aside to go ahead and play out Veronica's 0.00003, whatever. I'm trust me, guys. I am not trash talking her call. I mean, I have seen the woman do things that will just. I'm not even going to get into it. Just trust me when I tell you that don't rule it out. But things do change. Don't rule it out, but don't go all in on it. Is what I'm trying to tell you. But this one you can darn well believe in, because if this thing's going to fall, it's going to fall right to that AI line. It's going to meander around, and if it's going to come to here, it's going to go a little bit further, because as we've said millions and millions and millions of times, dual AI lines are magnetic, and the last one we have is right there. So once we clear this one, we'll ping pong away around, but eventually we might wick down and touch down here at 0.0000, 4 zeros and a 2. Let me go ahead and drop a marker in there again one more time. Right down there, 4 zeros and a 2. All right, so that's your strongest likelihood, as I see it, of a buy, and I'm going to be doing a pretty heavy order myself right there. So percent-wise drop from where we are here to where we are here. That's only 28%, guys. Does anybody think Shiba can't do? Here's your answer. Does anybody think Shiba can't do a 28% drop? Anybody? Bueller? There's no way. Going back, I know I'm throwing a lot at you here tonight, but give me one good disaster, and I'll show you a drop that makes 28% look like amateur hour. So does anyone think we can't achieve these numbers that I'm showing you? Zero chance of lack of possibility. Okay? I mean, literally, this is for all the marbles. Now, if we want to go and get really crazy, and we want to go down even lower, now you're talking the next AI line down, which is a 2.65, 2.618, yeah. So this is your next resistance right down here at this one. And this one, not entirely impossible. So you're looking at right there. Now that's a pretty substantial drop too, but one that now I'll tell you what, there's something special about this one, and I have an intuitive ability too. I don't market it, but I'll tell you what I think about this. I tell you that this one has a high degree of likelihood also, but I think this might be the line in the sand, because listen to your own conversations. You're so worried that, oh my God, I don't want to get another zero. We made it up to 4 zeros. I don't want to go back to 5. I think everybody's thinking that way. And I think that there's going to be a line in the sand, which just investors just are not going to let it happen. So to come down, into this general region, we'd have to go up a little bit more. But to get to the point where we don't go 5 zeros, that's going to be about the best you're going to get. And that's going to be right about on that dual AI line or slightly below. I mean, if you go much lower than that, we add an extra zero, and it's kind of like the difference between $9.99 and $1, I mean, look how much lower we can go. We can go all the way down here to just kind of in this general range. I think this is anywhere inside of this box here would be about as low as I think this thing's probably going to go before people grab a hold of it and start yanking it up again. So now we'll take a look at the percentages on that, and let me show you my take on that. So from here to here, let's see if I get the right. What was that on that? That was right Yeah. So you're looking at, to get to this dual AI line right here, 50% drop. That's pretty aggressive. That's pretty aggressive. But all it takes is a couple of 20s and a 10 to get 50. So it's entirely possible. A couple of 20 drops and then a 10 or a 5 and a 5 or whatever, however you want to deal that out. Yeah, we could get there. And again, we've done it. We've done it just in a matter of short periods of time. It has gone from here to here, which that's a 114%. So ain't no thing to be coming down this low. Think harder, crypto. By the way, you guys, if I'm gonna give him a shout out, Crypto Karaoke is one of JSnip's best friends. We're honored to have him amongst our mods. We just kind of invited him in just because he's fun to have around. So he's kind of, you'll see him in our chats and stuff, but that's one of JSnip's best friends. So tell JSnip he needs to get his ass over here. Have the bald man give me a call. We need to do some Patreon stuff. I'm waiting for the call. I've got my hand on the receiver. I'm waiting for the call. All right, so you can see we're bouncing right off of the green boxes in the larger deals. So this is probably the most telling area here. Again, I'm looking at 15-minute chart. This is, again, going to be one of the most telling areas of where you could be seeing your resistances. So we're just basically just going color bar to color bar to color bar. So to go back and recap what I just told you here, honestly, anything below this blue is you shouldn't hesitate too much. We start to get into the yellow, you better start getting your wallet out and you better start thinking about it. Just anywhere in this general area here is about as good as I think it's going to get in the next 6 days. All right, so we don't talk very much about Doge. Doge has just kind of gone mainstream to the point where it's just not doing anything anymore. It pretty much does what the rest of the market does. If you're looking at this just generally speaking, and you say, okay, well, what's the measured move? This should be taking it up here, but it's not. It's not. So let me explain what's going on here. That distance right there, you should be able to put that right there, and that should drop you right on that purple potato chip. But I don't think that's going to happen. What I think is going to happen is I think we're going to go booyah right down here, and we're going to go right into this green zone. And that's going to take you probably to 17, let's just call it, let's shorten that up a little bit, 17 and a half, 0.175. Candidly on this, by the way, if you get yourself a 0.175 Doge, by all means, heavily consider it, because Doge will be going to way past a buck at some point in time, because it's now mainstream and it's legitimized, if you want to call it that. You're not going to see the radical appreciation that you'll see in Shiba, mind you, but if you're looking for something else, if you just can't get yourself enough dog coins, this is definitely one you want to get. And I've always been an advocate of anything. Anytime you can get Doge under 25 cents, do it. Do it. Worked well for Rich. He's a multimillionaire now. So, which, by the way, he hasn't touched this since his last little kill. So he made $10 million on this damn thing, and he just said, "Okay, I'm done." So he has been. We are currently in Shiba together, and a couple of diamonds are in together. So we've got a massive move we're going to be doing on Shiba here very quickly. And I told some of you guys that are in VIP that when we get ready to pull the trigger, I'm going to give everybody a 30-second head start. So when it's time for us to basically hit the big green button, everybody who's in VIP, meaning gold and platinum, is going to know before we move the market. And I think we will move the market. With the amount of money that we've got, we're talking 1.1 trillion Shiba is going to be bought. 1.1 trillion. That's roughly about, I believe, I can't remember how many millions that works out to, but it's a lot. All right, this pig. This is where I soaked all my money, and I'll tell you what, I am not. George is getting upset. I am not a happy man about this. So, Yeah, I know I'm insane. I told like you heard me on live stream, man. I push everything to the middle, man. No guts, no glory. And this is an example of it. This is a classic example. I mean, so I'll push it to the middle. I don't care. They'll make more. They'll print more. It's not the last money I'll ever touch. So this is a very good example of this. So let me teach a little school here. I'll slow down and downshift about 2 gears. Let me teach you what I did to sidestep a car crash here with this. And I'll try to take this in as layman's terms as I possibly can. All right, so these are not the actual numbers, but I'll speak in terms of close neighborhood of what I'm dealing with. So, assuming I had $100,000 in XYO, and I did this here. Okay, and it started to go down, and I felt pretty positive that we're going to be seeing these numbers. So I thought, no problem. We're going to go down. We'll dollar cost. So I threw a little bit more money at it, averaged down a little bit, and then she went down again, not following TA worth a crap. And so went down again. I thought, all right, well, you want to play? We'll play. So I pushed in another $100,000 on this. So I'm in about a $250,000 right now on these 3 moves. Okay. So this thing went down, went sideways, went up. So now I'm watching my indicators. My indicators are getting really, really soggy. Squishy is what I like to say. They're not strong. And I'm like, don't like that. So now here I am, $250,000 exposed on this thing, and it's getting squishy. And without kind of going into the finer details, we've got an opening move that needs to close. God forbid this closes in a BART. BARTs look like this, and they go down. God forbid it's going to take my $250,000 down with it, and I'm not having that. So I watched this thing, and I was charting my heart out, and this thing is forming basically a 3-wave inside of a triangle. It goes up, down, up, down. Now I'm waiting for that third bounce. I'm like, you little bastard, you better give it to me. And I watched it, and I thought, all right, so it's decision time. Now, we could J-hook, we could do this. I was looking for every little trick in the bag. I was just trying to outthink the market, but I already had my markers. Where do I got to be to break even, like 1% over break even? Where would I be? And so I already know your exits before you ever go in the entry. This is the mark of a professional investor. Now, let me teach you what I did on this, and this is called deferred profit or deferred loss. This is something you probably never ever heard before, and I'll try to paint you a mental picture. It's an old real estate game. But basically what you do, so I'll try to use the closest comparable examples I can for you guys. I explain this in detail in the free chat in the unfairadvantage.chat at our Discord. I explained this at about 2 o'clock in the morning last night when I did it. So effectively what I did, so we'll go back to the numbers, $250,000. So I got this, I could sell it all and just book myself just a humongous loss. Just take it in the shorts, walk it off, but I don't like to lose. I don't like to lose, period. So what are my other options? Well, I could ride it all the way to the bottom, pout, and then pray to God it all turns around. But what about lost opportunity? I don't like lost opportunity more than I do like losing at all, period, either. So here's what I can do. I can say, all right, well, we don't have to cut off the whole leg. Maybe we can cut off a toe, and maybe that toe will grow back or something like that, to be funny about this. So here's what I basically did. So for $250,000, what I did was I did the math thinking, okay, so let's just pull out a random number. So I've got $50,000. Let's say I'm down $50,000. Well, I'm down $30,000. All right, so how much, if I left some in the market, I have Anubis, which is our forecasting software. And I said, okay, well, I know where this is going to be, given some time. I know where this is going to be. It's going to be 5x, 10x. It's going to do much, much better than it's doing. $5, by the way, candidly, is where this is headed. Given 36 to 48 months or thereabouts, give it time, this thing's going to rock and roll. But not right now. And so I want my money back, but I don't want to lose. I don't want to book a loss. So there's a sneaky little way we can do this and basically kind of save face, open up the opportunity to get into something that moves faster, and stick our losses aside and not create a taxable event. Well, win, 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 win. So this is how it works. Is what you do is you take a certain percentage of that and you calculate. So get your mental sketch pad out here, and I'll try to do my best without chalk talking this and crapping up my screen. Basically what I did is I left a percentage on the table in XYO. All right, and I liquidated, let's call it 80%. Don't get hung up on the numbers. And so the amount of money or the amount of crypto that I left in XYO, I did the calculation. How high would that remaining amount have to go up for me to zero out or basically make a modest profit? So jumping further ahead in the conversation, this is basically what I did. I know for a fact this is going to go up 10x. I know it. I know it. Soon. When this market blows up, everything's going to go up anywhere from 7% to 15x. Everything. And I'm talking in the next 90 days. Far less than the next 90 days. So, but I don't want to leave my money in XYO watching this thing go down and down and down because I'm trying to get my ass back into Shiba and it's not working. Okay? So what's a boy to do? Well, here's what I did. I said, all right, I'm going to leave X amount in XYO and I'm going to calculate how high that remaining bag has to go in X's, 1X, 2X, 3X, 4X, 5. And by my calculation, the remaining bag has to go up 8X in order for me to break even and come back to you guys and say, guess what? I didn't lose a dime on this. And meanwhile, I can pull out, 200 some odd $1,000 back, and I got it and I'm liquid right now. Now, it's not the best of all situations, but it's not a loss. It's a deferred profit. It's a paper loss. And the IRS will look at that and they will never call that a taxable event because I didn't make any money yet. All right, so that's as good as it gets. So if you guys picked up on what I was putting down there, that's as good as it gets for one of these kind of scary little things that kind of don't. So again, going back to like I said, I'll push it all to the middle because I always know my exits. Always know your exits before you go in the entry. Don't take a position you're not happy with because you can go from happy to very unhappy very, very quickly. When things go, I was happy here, I was happy here, I was happy here, but I'm not happy down here. So you got to know what are you going to do? What's your fire escape? What's your battle plan? When things don't go the way you want them to go, what are you going to do about it? You're going to ride it, or are you going to come up with one or two? Sell it all is not always the best answer. Riding it all is not always the best answer either. There are other tools in the bag. You just have to understand how to implement them. All right, I'm going to do my thing here. All right. Okay, so as far as XYO goes, where are we going to see this thing go when it goes down? And it probably likely will go down. We've got that measured move again. We've got two measured moves actually. We've got a short one and we got a long one. I tend to default to the short one, but that's a pretty crazy ass long one. That's just way down there in no man's land. So I wouldn't speculate to be able to do that, but I will tell you that if I can grab this thing and put that right there in that general area, we'll just go ahead and stick that kind of like towards the point right there. If we go over far enough, it's not going to surprise me that we're going to find, if this has got enough chart history, that we're going to find some support and resistance right in this general area. It might take a while to get over here. I might have to shorten my scale, but if we go over far enough, I don't know that we've got enough support, or we don't know if we've got enough charting history, but there is or was some area in that general area. So we're looking at 0.188 XYO. And this is going to be a $5 coin at some point in time. The burns. Let me speak to that. I'm sorry I keep coming back to Shiba, but the powers that be on the administrative side of that have been very, very clear about their intent to keep burning coins until they get this damn thing shoved up to a penny. I am very happy to hear that. Not right now, I'm trying to buy it cheap, but I'm very happy to hear that that's their long-term, short-term, medium-term plan. Very happy about that because most of these coin people are just like, yeah, we put it out there, hope it works out, micromanaging the valuations of these coins. The only other coin that I can think of that does it near like that is Ripple, because Ripple actually does. And if you're not aware of it, there are people who work for Ripple that their job has been for the last year or so keeping the price where it is. buying and selling in and out of the market. They've been quite forthcoming about the fact that that's what they're doing. I mean, it pisses you off because they're doing it, but yeah, they are doing it. They've been quite honest and upfront about the fact that they are buying that. So Veronica has XYO at 17. Yeah. So there you go. There you go. There you go, Tony. I didn't even know that. I'm kind of like her. She gets to making these predictions, and I'm so busy spinning plates and trying to keep the live stream running and trying to talk and carry on the conversation. I don't have time to necessarily internalize everything that she's saying. I've got to go back and re-listen to the show and stuff like that. So this is right in her zone too. So I'll tell you what, not a bad gamble. But I firmly believe that this thing is going to see some downtime. I just don't think we're ready. Again, going back to one of my other concepts, I don't think we're going to get a big pump up now, a sideways move for 10 days, and then yeehaw, off to the races. I just don't think it's going to work that way. The rest of the world has got too many problems, I mean, I just don't think it's going to work that way. Nothing has ever in my life worked that way. And I can't imagine that it would start now. So, especially in the worst times that we're in right now. So I can highly see us taking drops like this. Now, percent-wise, from where we're at here to here, 41%. Yeah, we could do it. We could do it with ease. 41% on a coin that really hasn't had a lot of fame and notoriety yet. Yeah, I wouldn't call it a shit coin, but it's not a class coin yet, but it's just kind of an up and coming emerging coin. Yeah, I could see 40% drop. All right, so let's take a look at a few others here. I always see this, I always come by it because I know a lot of you guys are in this. This thing, as I spent a great deal of time talking about, well, there's a ping, there was a call, there it is, hit right there. That wasn't really much of a guess. That was just easy to see coming. We have calls that had nothing to do with the recent conversation that are still yet to be realized. So this has been here for, 3 weeks? Yeah, we're going to be going down, guys. We're going to be going down. By the way, when I see this, I've talked about this for a while. Anyone paying attention to this? Because I told you should. I told you I had a feeling about storage. About 2 weeks ago, I said something around about here. I told you something's going to be going on with storage here. And I was right again. So this one, I don't know what it is, but she shot up 30%. And I'll tell you, recently this has been kind of coming into I can't pull this chart up because it's not live on there, but Anchor has been one that just keeps standing out to me. Anchor and Loop Ring, these two. Watch these two because I have a feeling you're about to see something. This is part of a layer 1, layer 2 solution type thing. Anchor just is a Coinbase coin, but these two here just keep coming up in my attention. Every time I roll past them for whatever, they're talking to me, they're waving at me. So it's that vibe that I get that I tell you, hey, you might want to look at this. Not based on anything other than just a feeling, but watch them. Because usually when I get that vibe, things start going. HBAR, sure, I'll take a look at HBAR. I gotta get into the platinum charts, not the pro charts, because we don't have them up yet. All right. Oh, by the way, I want to take a look at that too. HBAR. Oh, yes. Let's talk about Dent for a second while I'm thinking about this. So, when you're right, you're right, and I've been right all along with this thing. So, okay, so remember I told you on XYO how we had that triple wave. Here's just a larger version of that. So let's shut this off, and I'll show you. There's wave 1, there's wave 2, and I told you there was going to be a third one. There she is right there, and we're going down. We're going down. So this thing is just doing beautifully. I mean, if you take a line and you go across from here to roughly there, you got a beautiful trend line running right through the middle of that one. You can take that same line and bring it right on down through the whole thing and see exactly where it's supposed to be going. So not going to surprise me at all if we come right down here where I told you we're going to end up the whole time. These arrows have been here for weeks, if not months, telling you this is coming. They're right here, so the 2 perfect arrows ready to say I told you so. So when they do get down there, and I firmly believe that they will, buy it, because Dent is a fantastic buy. I've got Dent in the not too far flung future at about $11. And that's not bad for a 0.005 coin right now. So let's go ahead and look at HBAR. HBAR still got a long way to go before it's going to start to become dinner table conversation. It kind of woke up a little bit, and I expected it probably would, but well, I told you. I said live stream call. I said I told you this was getting ready to go. Wham, wham! Literally within hours of me telling you this thing was getting ready to go, it took off. Now I showed you kind of the pattern that we were running in. We were running in a broadening ascending wedge, which is basically called a trumpet. We're not in a trumpet anymore. This thing is pretty much just all the gas just ran out of it. So the momentum is just gone from this. We're back into a holding pattern now. There are some, when you see this, I know a lot of you guys who know my pattern, my funny little sayings and stuff, who would say, oh, that's a sleeper. Classically, I would agree with you. But this one just has different dynamics than the average sleeper does. Sleepers are usually categorized as something that does well most of the time, but for whatever reason, it's just not doing it. HBAR has never, up until recently, done anything. This is just an anomaly. HBAR has never really proven itself as a climber. I'm not to say that it's not going to in the future. I don't ever think this one's going to be a really breakout, massive superstar. But what you must understand is Google has their hands in this pie. Google is on the advisory commission or the advisory party to this. And where Google goes, money goes too. So this is going to have its day, but you got to understand that, all in God's good time. Google does not do things quickly. And so this thing could languish for another year before it really sees any kind of massive returns. And so for that fact, it's kind of like buying some of these other things like Digibyte or whatever. At some point you just got to go, what else could I be doing with my money smarter than this? And so HBAR it's just not time yet, guys. Aside from I told you this was going to do this, hope you made your money, cashed out, got out, whatever. It's time to push away from the table and go find something else to do. HBAR is not really ready for anything major yet. In fact, I'll go so far, this is a bold statement to make, but I'll go so far as to say that when we do get an explosion, this one will be probably it'll go up, but it'll probably be one of the most lackluster of the pumps that you see, based upon what I just told you. It's just not time. So if you're in HBAR, probably shouldn't make it a very large part of your bag. If you're a real believer, God bless you, but I don't see a reason why you should be. Take your money and go do something that'll make more money quickly. That's the name of this game. Now here's another one, Algorand. There it is. I'm not gonna change my call on that. This is long before we started to wonder is you ain't gonna get a drop today or this week. There it is right there. It's been predicted for a long time. Double confirmation. One right there, one a little bit lower. We are waiting. And we're trending that direction. So from here to this one, you're looking at a grand sum total of 17%. That ain't no thing. From here to here, 21%. All day long, boys and girls. All day long we can do that. Now, is that the end of it? No, don't really think so, but won't it be nice to see both of those click off and know I was right yet again? Now, if it gets to here, then we'll start talking about this. Might as well look. I would still probably in a reasonable drop scenario, I would still be looking for anywhere from strong 20s to weak 30% range, which is going to put you from here to, let's see how, there's 37 to the top of that, 31 to the bottom of that. So wouldn't shock or surprise me in the least little bit to have that come and strike off the bottom of that green box right there. So if you can get it bought inside of, I see something emerging here. Yeah, this is likely. So we'll probably do something like that, ping off the bottom of that, and eventually capitulate, and then spend some time, and we'll get trapped in this little area right here, this little box. That's the way these things work. So right there is probably likely where you can get it bought. And once you do, hang on for dear life. This is going to be one of those ones you don't want to let go. Hang on, hang on, hang on. Somebody was telling me something was. Oh yeah, I believe it was Red Bear was saying something about electronium. So electronium, again. Now, this is a sleeper. This is an absolute sleeper because electronium has use case and has proven itself to have done something. We can see that. This is as sleeper as it gets. Now, crash not to be considered part of the discussion. When this thing goes up, we've seen some pretty outrageous runs already. This is a hard one to get. Basically, you have to have a weird wallet to keep it in. You have to, unless you buy it on an exchange and keep it on an exchange, which is probably the smarter way to play this coin. But this thing has got plenty of juice left to go up later on. But we do still nonetheless have to have a pullback on this thing. If everything else is going to crash, this is in shitcoin price territory at 0.019 cents. So this thing, make no mistake about it, will go down. So I'm telling you is this: if you have an opportunity to buy this in the green zone, get it bought. If you're all about wanting to own this thing, green box is as easy pickings as it gets. That's not a real crazy drop, if I remember correctly. It's only 20 to 30%. And again, shitcoins move more exponentially, so that's probably a conservative call. But I can tell you pretty much if we are going to have a large correction over the next week or so, bottom of the green box is highly likely to happen and play out. So while I'm down here, just for the hell of it, I don't spend a lot. I rarely talk about metals on this channel. So metals it's always fun to kind of look at what other markets are doing to kind of get a gauge. Because, markets, again, this is that flowing of money in and out. Like I said, when people panic and freak the hell out and start grabbing stuff, metals is one of the ones that people generally won't. Because it's kind of like real estate. It's hard to get into, not as hard to get out of as real estate is. But you get your silver dealer. Like right now, today is Monday. My silver dealer is closed today. If I want to go buy silver today, if I want to go sell silver today, SOL, baby. You ain't going to get it. You ain't going to get it done. Neither are you going to get done yesterday or the other half a day of Saturday. So this is a problem with silver. Silver is kind of not liquid, not illiquid. It's just kind of in that plasma state between. So silver doesn't move as violently when we see these things go, and gold doesn't either when we see the panic. But I would look at that as almost like a second tier. Yeah, I'll do REIT for sure, no problem. I would look at silver as kind of a second tier indicator of when things are really bad. So again, going back to that oh shit scenario, the easiest things to sell are going to be the things that sell first. In other words, clear out the bank account, take the cash out of the bank account. They're going to make that real easy to do. When things start to go really bad, first thing that's going to happen is the ATMs are going to lock down, and we've all been there, seen this stuff a million billion times. But it's going to keep happening. I mean, just because you know it's going to happen doesn't mean they're not going to still do it anyway. So they'll lock you with your money. So let me paint you a scenario like this. What happens? My mind works in mysterious ways, so just enjoy the ride. What happens? Let me give you a what if, and this is probably the most likely scenario. So why does crypto liquidate the way it does, or why would crypto get sucked into this void? Well, here's a scenario. So, ironically, it has to do with the banks, which would still screw you anyway. But so let's assume you can't get into the banks. You go to your ATM and banking holiday. Today is Columbus Day. Who gives a rat's ass about Columbus? But Columbus Day today, so it's a banking holiday today because these guys work hard and they need a day off. So it's a banking holiday today. And you can't go to the bank and make deposits or withdrawals or anything like that face to face, if you can even find a face to face off against. But they're closed today. And so there's that. Let's assume we have a catastrophe today. All right, so now what? Well, people are going to start going, oh my God, I need to sell this, that, and the other thing. Some people will be dumping their crypto, not clearly thinking that, obviously when I dump my crypto, how am I going to turn that into money that I thought I was going to need? You're going to have to run it through the banks. You're still screwed. But in panic, people don't use logic. They use emotion. And so the banks are going to be probably the trigger that starts stuff. When we get into a disaster, the easy money sources are going to go into lockdown. That's what I'm trying to say. The easy money sources are going to go into lockdown. That'll take everybody to tier 2. Oh my God, I need to sell something around the house, or I need to go to the pawn store, or I need to whatever. And then when those avenues run dry, I need to start selling things I'd rather not sell. Maybe I need to skip a payment on my car or something like that. And then that starts the whole car market. And the next thing you know, that thing's going downhill in the house market, and then whatever all else. But one thing's going to lead to another and to another and to another. But make no mistake about it, people are going to start pulling all those things, the stocks, the bonds, the whatever they've got, and liquidating them because they're starting to spook now. And they want to draw that they want to be able to touch something physical, is what I'm saying. They want to be able to hold that green cash, whatever you may think of the value of it. Still, there's some psychological certainty to being able to hold something, and this is why I say silver is not going to sell as fast for a multitude of reasons compared to crypto. So metals are going to be like one of the last things to panic sell off, simply by virtue of hard to sell, timing, difficulty, and you're already holding something silver, because you talk to a crypto person, they're like, well, this is the new money. You talk to a silver person, they're like, well, at least I got my silver. If the power grid goes down, silver people have a different mentality. Still, that doesn't necessarily mean that some silver isn't going to get sold, because if that's all you got and your kids are starving, then is what it is. And I've done it. If I need to have money to survive on or something like that, and I'm too heavily vested in an asset, I'll just have to start trimming some of the fat and selling off a little bit of it. We've all been there at every level. So, but looking at silver, we've got an opening move, we've got a closing move, and so now we've currently got what can be construed as an upward trend, and it should be going up. But something just tells me I don't think so. Not yet. Not yet. And this is a very broad swipe I'm taking at this. And that plops you right down there. So it comes from right here to that. If I put that in the absolute spot where it belongs, right there, takes you right down that AI line once, twice, 3 times. Silver at $21.37. Plus, God only knows how much. Last time I looked, I think it was $4.75. Which, by the way, I want to tell you a little story here. I always like to kind of divert and tell you little weird things. So, we had played with the idea about doing a limited edition, and some of you guys have never heard about this, but I've been talking to the mods about doing a limited edition FibiCharts collectible silver. I have contact with 3 mints to be able to custom print 1-ounce silver coins. They wanted $300,000 to do that. And I thought, all right, well, is what it is. It's really more of a vanity fun thing. I got better things to do with $300,000. Buying silver, it'll go up, so it's not like it's a losing proposition. But I was, and I'm still considering doing this, but we're going to have to let things kind of settle down a little bit. But I was considering doing a limited edition FibiCharts Magic Chicken Bones 1-ounce collectible silver, because I know some of you guys in here could come take half my stack with one purchase. So, but they wanted me to buy 300,000 coins. What was it? They wanted me to buy 10,000 coins, and I think by the time minting charges and shipping charges, tax, title, and license, and all the other things, handling fees, I think it comes to like $300,000 for so little spendy. I think we got better things to do than just buying funny little things, so I decided to pass on that for right now. But we're working on something like that, and these were going to be serial numbered limited edition too, so that jacks the price up a little bit. But we're still working on it a little bit. But anyway, silver. Watch silver. If you start seeing silver go down, because Cliff High has said the same thing. He says you're going to see these moves are going to go up, and they're going to go up even higher, and then they're going to go up even higher than that. And yeah, that's what you're going to see. Look at the moves. Look at the moves. These things are starting to get really. Should silver be doing that? The trend is your friend until the end. My case to go down. Look, I've already got a mark. We can go clear down to $20. Scaling way back. Does that look possible? If I get rid of all that trash off there, and you look at that, does that look possible to go down there? Heck yes, it does. It just keeps going down and down. Pretty soon they're going to be paying you to take it. Oh, I wish, right? All right, so let me get a couple more things here. So, and let's take a look at Solana here real quick. Oh, sorry, I was going to do Reef, wasn't I? Yeah. All right. So Reef, do not rule this out. I'm just really adamant that we're going to hit. I have to hit this. My ego won't let me not hit this. I know it's gonna. I know it's going to hit it. I have no question about it. We've got how many damn tests? All right. So if you guys don't understand testing, so what I'm circling here, these little curly cues, basically this is a test. Anytime it's kind of like smashing on a glass ceiling or a glass floor. You tap it enough times, eventually it breaks and you fall through, or you rise through, or you flow through. It's very uncommon to get. You could actually say we had 1, 2, 3, 4. You can actually say we had 5 tests. That's a lot. Usually they break within 3. So we had 5 tests, 3 or 4 or 5 tests here. So if this thing comes down and just even sniffs at this, I have a feeling it'll just go whoosh, right straight through that like no big thing. No big thing. And so we're going to end up right on this dual AI line right here, which is the test, and then she'll let her go, and down she'll go even lower. So again, my first introduction to this, not to tell this long story again, but when I first brought this to you guys, I brought it in at this point right here, and it went from here, where I made my first purchase, up 90% immediately after I told you guys this thing was about ready to boost. 90%, like that. Now we're clear down here. This is the best buy it's ever been, down in this area. So this is a coin that's going to go from its current 0.0195 when the whole franchise turns around. It's going to go to $3.36. This is a outrageously valuable, usable coin. You want ERC20, I know, but you're going to want some of this. You definitely are going to want some of this. So from where we're at now, just to the bottom of that box, it's 23%. I've already told you it's easy to do. So could we go lower than this? Well, let me show you something. Already got a mark. Already ready for you. Been there for a long, long time. So the boxes point the way. Here's what I would tell you. From where we're at currently, we can only kind of go from where we're at currently. Not going to sweat the likelihood of probably hitting the bottom of this box. Coming into the ping pong zone, hitting the top of this box, which is 39. Now, honestly, if it were me, and I were like, okay, where's this bad boy going to go to? I'm going to start loading up the truck right here in this what I call the ping pong zone. It could wick a little bit lower, but because I've worked with Reef so long, it's like a wild animal. You work with it long enough, you know its habits, and I know Reef's habits very, very well. This thing is stubborn as hell when it comes to really capitulating. When everything else is going to shit, this thing, it'll get around to it, but it doesn't really ever plummet. It's not a wiki coin, meaning it doesn't just go along and just whoosh, just drop down. Just doesn't do it. I mean, it's very slow and steady, wins the race. It's kind of like Solana Junior, sort of. When the market was going to hell, Solana was like, great, and it was still going up. Solana fought tooth and nail. So did Reef against one of those drops that we had at the first part of summer. And, so Reef, when it comes down in the ping pong zone, I think that's about as good as it's going to get. So in this black area here, to answer your question, Crusader, no, I can't do Songbird. Reason being is because they have not given me charts yet for it's on Platinum Pro. I'm ready for it. As soon as I can get a chart, I'll start charting the hell out of it for you guys because I'm interested too because I'm a major owner. But I'm on Coinbase, so God only knows if I'm even going to get it. But as soon as I get an opportunity to get a chart that's already sitting here on Platinum Pro, ready to go. But right now there's nothing there. What do I think of that? All about it, baby. All about it. V-Chain is another one. This is, this is a sleeper. This is a sleeper formation. But again, in a crashing market, sleepers can wake up and fall out of bed, which is exactly what I think this is going to do. There's your opening move right there. What's this going to do? Take a guess. It's going to go down to right here. And this is what Veronica called, and I am in full agreement. Because basically you're looking at a measured move from here to here, give or take. I'll have to adjust this a little bit. But from there to there, ta-da! bang on the money. That's why we call this the unfair advantage. So you're looking at, let's just call it 0.085. If you can buy VeChain at 0.085, let me tell you what's behind door number 3, Johnny. You're looking at VeChain $7 to $15 in the next 36 to 60 months, if you can hang on to it long enough. $7 minimum on a 10-cent coin, on a less than 10-cent coin, on a coin that I won't go so far as to call it a blue chip, but I will call it one that will generally, over the course of time, never let you down. It's got use case. It's got, it's one of those ones that you can sleep very well knowing that, if the world goes to hell, VeChain's still doing what it does. All right, so let's see what else we got here. Oh, Solana. So speaking of Solana, there it is. All right, I was mapping this earlier because I got a diamond that was asking me on this. So, I always have to kind of concede that any kind of a hard pullback with Solana, any kind of hard pullback in the market, Solana will be less than everything else. And that pretty much jives with what I'm seeing here. So again, we've got a measured move right here. If we just plug that into the grid, it's going to take you from armpit to elbow right down there to the thing. So you're looking at probably, let's just call that $125, call it a day. If you can buy, if you can buy Solana at $125, give or take, then do it. Because that's a fantastic price. Now, that is, in terms of percentage drop, not real radical. It's 10%. But if you really want to hold out for a drop, I'm pretty darn sure we're going to get 125. But if Solana drops, that's a hell of a run up. It's a hell of a run up. I would not hold out too much hope to go down to the green box at this point in time, because for such a strong coin as Solana to fall 40%, oof. Do you want to live in a world with a 40% drop in Solana? Because that's bad. Because this thing does not get down on both knees when things go bad. This one's a fighter. And this one's going to be an important coin in the future going forward. So for my money, basically I'll tell you how I would play this is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to extend this out a little bit. I'm going to be watching the top of this trend line, because as I expected, what's going to end up happening, let's get this garbage out of the way for a second here. There. So what I'm expecting is likely to happen is this will come down. Would you give me my pin? There we go. Come down, come into here, ping pong around that, and probably experiment across the top part of this line, however low that chooses to go. And I expect right there to be the spot that it does it, because that's your first support and resistance, right in that general area right there. So it'll come down to this box, basically, which represents the top of that box, and then fall into the bottom of the box. But I don't really think it'll go much lower. Now, if it went any lower than that, it would start picking up there. But I think, honestly, the lowest you're going to get out of Solana is going to be right about that line right there. And that's going to be fair enough. You're looking at probably anywhere from about 25 to 30%. I'd say about 25% sounds about right for a strong coin like that. If everything else is moving 30, 35, Solana would move 20, 25. So let's get back on T-Field. So, as I've said many times, this one's a swing coin. Always like to throw. Yeah, I'll do Zill for you. This is one of those ones that every single time, I told you guys last time when we hit here, buy this. I told you literally right here. We are on the green. Don't have a problem with you guys buying it. If you did, then up we went. And so there's been from that to that, you're looking at about 28%. Not bad in less than a month, 10 days actually. So not too shabby. Now, are we going to rejoin and come back down again? Most certainly. Because again, there's your opening move, which is pretty much, usually I like to see those run a little bit tighter than that, but generally speaking, if we go back and we stick that back in the hole, where does that put us? From armpit to there, puts us right back in familiar territory. Boom. And when it hits that again, One test, two tests, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 tests. Do you think this isn't going to fall further than this? After 8 tests, we've established that this thing needs to break. This many tests in a row. I've never seen, actually, now that I say this, I've never seen 8 tests in a row that haven't been broke through, ever. So how low can we go? Well, I'll tell you your next possibility is right at the bottom of the box, because this box is formed off of vast resistances further back. So you're looking at about 23 cents. So if you can buy 23 cents T-Fuel, do it. Do it, because when this thing goes up, and it always goes up, T-Fuel is going to have its day where it's over $1, over $1.25, over $1.50, $2, $3, $4, however long you want to hold on to it. But here's the thing. If you can buy at 23 cents, not to put too fine a point on it, I think this is a fairly safe bet to say that I don't think you're ever going to get 23 cent T-Fuel ever again. So buy it like you mean it if you get that opportunity. All right. So that's what I got to say on that. And let's see what else. A couple of other things. I probably better mention the free call one. So OMG. Some people have been playing this and just asking, when's the hard drop? Well, we started talking about this drop on this a long time ago. So is this still in effect? Yes. I love it when things work the way that I tell you they're going to work. So here's an inverted cup and handle. And I told you, this is going to be the edge of the cup is going to stop right here. Well, let me draw your attention to that right there. That's exactly where we hit. So this now has been hit to the edge of the cup and handle. So now where are we going to go from here? So we're in a completely different formation. If we're in agreement the rest of the market's going down, then obviously we can't use the cup and the handle mathematics as being like, we're going to go measure move down. But this still holds true for me, because this is basically picking up on support and resistance. But we've got all these levels right here of support and resistance. So, we'll have lots of stopping off points going all the way down. But generally speaking, once the market crashes, or I hate to use that word crashed, but once the market corrects hard, let's just say that, you're looking at from here to here, 25, 26, 27. On a fairly strong coin, 35 to the bottom, heck yeah. Anywhere inside of this yellow box, buy more. Buy some, buy more, buy whatever. Buy and buy often, because this thing's going. And look how close we got already. I told you by the end of the year we're going to be seeing $20 to $25 OMG. Look how close we got already. We shot up there way almost hit $20. And we're well ahead of the end of the year. So do you think that we could dip down temporarily and then regain? Heck yes, we can. And if the market's going to go 10x, then we might go shooting past my 20 to 25% call like nothing. And I'm not suggesting that's the time that you sell. I'm just telling you road sign along the way. Hey, we're going to get to these, and we're going to go much higher than that. OMG is going to do very well. And this is a free call I gave away to you guys just to help everybody. No crypto investor left behind. So wanted to make sure somebody had something to play if they have nothing, because we've got some very poor people from around the world that I don't talk about them lately. Haven't heard a lot from them lately, but we've got folks that are you're that dollar you got in your pocket. That's somebody's weekly paycheck. They're trying to get into crypto too. So I like to be able to help those guys as well, because the world is, oh man, what's coming? I'm telling you. I think we all now know. I'll do Zill here while I'm doing this. I'm watching Australia greatly. My heart goes out to you guys. I mean, stay strong, stand up. Don't let them roll over you. Stand up. I mean, if show braveness, because stand up and don't take this stuff, because if you cower quietly, it'll just advance on you. I'm not trying to start a revolution on my crypto channel here, but what I'm telling you is stand up to the things that try to put you down. Don't ever let them take it from you. And it takes every single one of you to do it. Not a few of you, not that other guy across the street. You, all of you. If it's not right, say it's not right. Yeah, I'll show you BTC again. All right, so here we are again with ZIL. So again, that's going to follow pretty much the same. Lots of tests here. We're going to be going down. So let's just go ahead and just do it the simple way here. So there's 11%. I would put it right on that red line. Right on the red line. Red line is 6. Let's just call that 0.063, 0.064. So if you like ZIL, ZIL's not a bad one. We've talked about ZIL for a long, long time. So let's go back and let's close out today's little emergency meeting here with a little Bitcoin. All right, so, well, isn't it interesting? It always stops where I mark it. So my channel, as I showed you, I mean, we're parked right under that channel. It's, I don't want to say it's not going up, but they're going to tease us right until the bitter last minute. They're not going to let you have it. Here's something that's popping up. Yeah, we're starting to capitulate, starting to fall out of the triangle. Good. So as far as Bitcoin goes, right now, basically what you're watching for, I'll shut all this stuff off so you can see what we're watching for is we're watching for that to go up to this mark right here. And then when we get to about 61 and some change, 62, right in that range right there, I expect that to just tap off that. And here's probably what's going to end up happening. I see these little formations in my head. What's probably going to happen is it hit that, and then it's going to be on the other side of this line where it's going to be walking inside of that. And that'll be the next thing you see. And then from there, it's decision time. So step 1, we run all the way up here, we bang off of it, and now support becomes resistance, and so we start to form a pennant, and people go, oh, it's going to go up, it's going to go up. And it doesn't. It does a J-hook. And that's what a J-hook is. You guys, I want to make sure you understand what a J-hook is. A J-hook is only ever off of a triangle. It's if I've heard you guys use that term, you don't know what you're talking about, or you don't understand what you're talking about. Let me define a J-hook for you here real quick. If you don't have any idea what I'm talking about, just hear me out here. So in a formation where you got a flag or a pennant or something like that, what you end up seeing is something like that where technically it should go up. This distance here should match the same distance as the flagpole, but it never works that way. They always do these 50% moves, and again, I've just come to notice with pattern recognition, this is what they're doing. A classic technical analysis says flagpole, pennant, we go up distance of flagpole, we do it again. But they don't. What they do is they hose us and they say, okay, so they get all the people suckered into trying to hedge their bets and trying to say, oh, well, I know what this is because I got a stock trading for dummies book, and I learned this in a book, and this is how you make your millions. So I'm going to throw down a big bet right here, and I'm going to go ahead and do that, take my position, and what's this all about? They hook it on you. That's what a J-hook is. They just throw these hooks. Now it works the other way too. On a pennant that's going the other direction, it'll go the opposite direction, or it'll go up. So hooks can go up or down off of a pennant. When they're supposed to go up, they go down. When they're supposed to go down, they go up. But what you'll see here is this. J-hooks play kind of as a 50% pattern. So let's say this distance here is the distance of the flag. Okay, so that distance there is what it should go up here. But what happens is it ends up going 50% the distance. It'll go 50% up like that, and get everybody committed, and then it just takes it and wanders off, does whatever. So that is a J-hook defined. And you don't get J-hooks off anything other. You can get them off of triangles like this. You can get them off of pennants. You can get them off of any kind of triangle-ish formation. But you don't get them off of squares. You don't get them off of flags. You don't get them off of anything else other than just off of triangles. Oh yeah, I'm reading the comments. Have I disclosed my trillion? It's mine and several others. $1 trillion Shiba volume price yet? It's laddered in. I tell you right now, you don't drop $1.1 trillion Shiba order and not freak the market out. That would be a sell wall 18 And that would be a buy wall. People would be like, Jesus Christ. So we're being sneaky about it. I'll just clue you in that everything you see down in the general area of the original 0.503 call, that's all us. Or damn near mostly all us. We're down there laddered in, but we're going to be moving some of those up realistically, as I just indicated here. So, but yes, I will when it's time. I'll tell you whatever. I mean, I'm not going to be sleeping a hell of a lot. This week is going to be sponsored by Diet Pepsi and massive caffeine. So I'm going to be welded to this chair and watching what's going on. And the minute I see anything that screams buy, I'm going live, and I'm going to start posting everything. You know, if it's 2 o'clock in the morning, if it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon, whatever. Just case in point here, I would like you guys all who are part of the live stream. Obviously, you know what I do and how I do it. But you guys are new to the live stream. I would highly consider you join us at the unfairadvantage.chat. SEC. Veronica has the thing in the works, and she's calling for the 16th, I think the 16th. I'm sorry, the 16th to 20th. No, I'm sorry. She said the 16th is when she thinks that Shiba is going to go up on Robinhood, and she says they're in agreement. But the 20th to 22nd is when we're thinking that something's going to come out major for XRP in the SEC case. So it's all going to play together. So anyway, back to my point. Join us at the unfairadvantage.chat, and that's the fastest way, because I'm not necessarily going to come out here and do this for all you jokers here publicly. You know, I love my group. I take care of my group. So if you want to be in the group, you got to join the group, and there's no charge in order to do that. Just go over there and just avail yourself to the free invitation and get on in there and check us out and see what's going on. And of course, obviously, you'll get in there. You'll want to have access to these charts so you have the pertinent information, because occasionally I'm known to sleep. Not often, but I'm known to sleep, and you might want to have access to these charts as well. And you can do that by going to fibbycharts.com and subscribing to the charts. So as far as when it's time to make a purchase and stuff like that, what I was going to suggest to you is that you download the Discord app, and you put the notification so you can keep your phone by your bed, because this has happened. I've got about 6 or 7 people in the group where China wakes up and they wake up and they do some funky things, and you guys are sawing logs, and you wake up and you go, oh crap, I wish I would have known. Well, I'm up doing God's work at 3 o'clock in the morning. And if you guys are up, a few of you guys, it's just kind of a little bit of a hot tub party going on at 3 o'clock in the morning. But there's a few of us that are doing this thing, and so if you guys are missing what I did last night, if you have the alarm, if it's important to you, you can have your Discord send you an alarm on your phone. Keep your phone by your bed, because these are times where this is work, getting your butt out of bed and doing staggering across the room. Leave your computer on so that you don't waste any time. So you can stagger in there and hit the buy button or the sell button or whatever it is you got to do. I mean, these are extraordinary times. You have to take extraordinary measures. It's basically the way that I look at it. I've got a mod that he's on the bat phone. I mean, I know what he needs, and if something moves, I'm going to be dialing his butt up at 4 in the morning or 2 in the morning or whatever it is. Let him know, get up, buy, or whatever, or sell. So if that's what it's got to be, that's what it's got to be. All right, guys. So that's pretty much it for today. I think we got everybody up to speed. So safety positions, guys. Don't hold out. Not invalidating the 503 for Shiba. Wouldn't it be wonderful? Oh, wouldn't it be wonderful? But let's not live our lives like that's the only thing we got going for us. Let's try to be somewhat safe and sane here, okay? So, till next time, be safe, be good, and be good at it. Peace and hair grease, baby.